Hello everyone, this is Donna from Even the Scales. Thank you for joining me and I hope you're having a good weekend. Today on my channel I'm going to talk to you more about the abuse that I've been going through here in Campbelltown, New South Wales. Before I start though, I would like to do an acknowledgement of country and first acknowledge the Dharawal people who are the true custodians of the land that I bring you these messages on today. I would also like to pay respect to elders past and present, as well as extend my respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are watching this video today. A lot of the information I'm going to go through now has been said on my channel in the past, but it's very important that I include all of the information in most of the videos that I do. And this is because it's very important that people see the big picture, especially if, there's someone that just clicks on my video for the first time and they haven't seen any of the other ones in the past. It's very important that they see the big picture of what's going on here. So for those of you who don't know, if you haven't watched any of my videos before, I've been going through very cruel and inhumane abuse here in Campbelltown, New South Wales for around 18 months now. It's all being done as a part of a police cover-up, and basically what's happening here is that the justice system have been paying the community to try and abuse me to death. As a part of this abuse, I have been purposely isolated by my community and my family. My family are involved in this. My family have stolen an inheritance from me, so they teamed up with the justice system to be a part of it, and they have also purposely isolated me. And the health system has also teamed up with the justice system to work with them as a part of this abuse. Most of my neighbours around me have been involved in this, as well as several different organisations, large and small, and also random members of the community. And I've been isolated, and I think people have been told just to try and not show me any human kindness whatsoever as a part of the abuse, no respect whatsoever, and there's no help. Anywhere that I have turned to for help in the past, over the past 18 months, I have been disappointed in some way. Either those because I've gone to organisations and people that are meant to help people that are going through abuse. And every time I have gone to somebody for help, they have either been bribed not to help me or they have just been told not to help me. And I'm treated like I just don't exist. That's what's going on here. I'm just treated like I don't exist, and everywhere I turn, it doesn't matter if I have most of the services that I've gone to for help, and most of the businesses that I go to for different services have put me through some kind of abuse in some way. I'm being stalked right now in my home. I'll talk more about that throughout this video, but I'm being stalked right now. I'm constantly put through mostly psychological abuse, and I'm provoked all the time by different people, the people around me. It doesn't matter if I'm in my home or if I'm on the road driving or if I'm in public somewhere. There is usually someone there's always somebody trying to provoke me, especially when I'm out in public. A lot of the abuse has calmed down around my home, but they are still trying to get to me any way that they can. They're just doing it in more sneaker ways. And it's been done to take my life. The justice system and my family want complete control of my life. So it's been done to either cause me serious mental or physical illness or even death. And I think it's just been like whatever comes first. And they also want me to try and lose all hope in my life as a part of this abuse as well, like so that I'll just take my own life. So any of those ways, they don't care, but they've been trying to make one of those things happen to me for the past 18 months. And they already know that I have severe PTSD and anxiety, so they are like trying to make this worse all the time. They're trying to keep me in a constant state of panic or fight and flight. And the health system have actually been holding back information from me about my health as well. And whatever I have that they haven't told me about, I feel it's something to do with my heart. I have good reason to believe that I have had a stroke in the past because of the way that my left side has been affected. And they're trying to make this happen again. With the abuse, they try and make my heart race. They try and cause me to panic, and they're trying to make me have a stroke or a heart attack or something like that. Also, I had to go and have a procedure done this time last year at the Campbelltown Public Hospital. While I was at that hospital, I was also put through very cruel abuse the whole time I was there. And while I was having that procedure done, I also have good reason to believe that they have put some kind of monitor under my skin while I was under anesthetic so that they can monitor my heartbeat and other vital signs. This is so while they are putting me through the abuse, they can monitor how much I'm panicking, how much my heart is racing. And I'll get to more in this information that I'm giving out in this video right now. I'll get to more about why I have really good reason to believe they have done that as well. The police and my family have been putting me through psychological abuse for quite some time, a lot longer than 18 months, years. And the abuse only got worse 18 months ago after I wrote a letter to the police explaining all the injustices that I have been through over the past 10 years as a part of the family and domestic violence that I have been living with. During that 10 years, I made 12 calls to the justice system, different departments of the justice system, child welfare, the federal police, just the local police stations, and I think that's about it. Those three different organisations, and for some reason, my calls for help were not followed up, or I was treated very unfairly on every one of those occasions. And that was because it was all a part of the psychological abuse that I've been being put through. I also had police officers in my family and connected to my family that were obstructing justice from taking place for me over the past 10 years. My family have stolen the inheritance. So this is why they are so invested in being a part of this. And the justice system have also helped them do that in some way. So this is one of the things they're trying to keep covered up, as well as the calls that are made for help. They don't want the truth about those calls being made public. They don't want the public to know about them. And that's because I was living with family and domestic violence at the time. And because family and domestic violence is such a big problem in this country, they don't want people to know how the justice system responded to my calls for help. I also reported a pedophile in 2020, and that pedophile is still living in a community here in Campbelltown, and that is also because that is all a part of the abuse that I've been put through. They just didn't want me to receive any justice for anything that I have been through in the past. There's also a police officer that has committed very violent crimes against women, and this is another thing that they do not want being made public. So it's all of these things that they are covering up. There's also other things as well. But this is why they want control of my life. They're trying to shut me up. They don't want anything else about these things, becoming any more public. And that's why I had to create this channel, to let people know what's going on here. And also because there's no help. I have absolutely no help whatsoever. So I've had no choice but to do this to try and save my life. To have that control over my life, there is also a camera in my home. I'm tracked everywhere I go in my car, and my car's also bugged with a listening device, and all of my devices are hacked. Even if as I'm filming this video right now, members of the community that are involved in this, random members of the community, can watch me filming this video right now. I have no privacy whatsoever. It's not just the police that can view me in my home and view my devices and listen in on my car and track me where I go. It's also random members of the public that have been paid to put me through abuse. It's also my abusive family members. It's also abusers from my past. And it's also my neighbours, the neighbours that are involved in this. So this is, everyone can see as well, like all of my business that I do online, everyone can see everything I do, everywhere I go, all of the appointments that I go to, just everything. People can see absolutely everything. I have no privacy whatsoever. And they've also researched my past. They have researched my past very in depth, where they have gone right back to my childhood and found information. They've researched information about all the traumas that I've ever been through in my life. And it's been my family, people that I had around me before I found out that this was happening to me. Just 18 months ago, certain people that I had in my life, certain neighbours, certain friends, they were all actually going behind my back, and family members, and giving the justice system this information, preparing to put me through this abuse. Even victims of the pedophile that I reported in 2020, even victims of that pedophile went against me. They must have got bribed to do that. That's all I can think of. They must have been bribed to do that. But yeah, they've gone against me, and they've actually given information, personal information about me, like going right back to childhood. And this is so that they can use this information against me. They use this information in ways to try and hurt me, to cause me psychological pain, so that I can't heal from those traumas. But it's not working. That's a part of why this isn't working, because I've actually healed a lot of that trauma from my past. So they're using the info that they're finding from watching me in my home. They're using that. They are also using information that they have researched on me from my past. And they're also getting information from what I'm watching on the TV and what I'm doing on my devices and things like that, and using it as a part of the abuse. So they watch every single little thing I do, everything. My body language, they study my body language. They study every word I say, every action that I make. They know everything I watch on my TV. They know every single thing that I buy. They even go through my garbage. Every week they go through my garbage just looking for something to try and um, frame me, or yeah, that they try and find something, that I've done that, I don't know, so they can take control of my life. They've tried to frame me several times. My family have tried to frame me. Um, Certain neighbours have worked with my family and the justice system to try and frame me. And they've tried to do that on several different occasions over the past couple of years. They've gone to absolute extremes to carry out this abuse on me. I mean, absolutely nothing is sacred as far as the information that they have gathered on me. My family have given out details of my life, like intimate details, and they must have gone to even like past people, past abusers, and gotten information from my past as well. And, a lot of these people have told lies for whatever reason because they had something to gain out of this. But my family have, given out pieces of my soul as some of this information. And they've also taken away my free will because they've stolen that inheritance without me even finding out about it in the first place. And they've also lied to do that. They've lied to the justice system to steal that money about me. They've lied to my extended family, and they have lied to a lot of my connections. My family have also used children as a part of this. My grandchildren aren't in my life, and it breaks my heart every single day that they're not. But what these family members have put me through, I had to just walk away from the family altogether because of what they were trying to do. They were trying to frame me for different things. And yeah, unfortunately, they've used the children. And I mean, that's another heartbreaking thing about what I'm going through here because I loved my grandchildren very dearly. They've also lied to steal the money, and they've lied on my reputation. They have told huge lies about me to steal that money. And my human rights are being violated here in very extreme ways, like the way that my privacy is being violated, and this abuse that I'm going through, it's very cruel and inhumane, and it's been going on for a very long time. And my right to live a peaceful, happy life has also been taken from me. So my family are sitting back, spending an inheritance while my life is put on like hold right now because of the control that the justice system and my family have gained over my life. I'm very limited to what I can do because I'm stalked everywhere I go. And yeah, my freedom's been taken away. And yet they're sitting back, watching all of this happen, and they haven't done anything to try and help me. And I was good to my family members. I did nothing to deserve any of this. This is all being done for money. My family actually spent thousands of dollars on carrying out psychological abuse in different ways. They spent thousands over the past few years to do that. And what happened was I was in a very abusive relationship and for a number of years, and I wasn't living in the Campbelltown area. When I left that relationship, I moved back to Campbelltown, and this was like the worst thing that could have happened for my family members because they had told so many lies about me to steal this inheritance that they didn't want people knowing the truth about who I actually was. They didn't want people to see my true character. They wanted me to stay hidden. So this is what they've done. They've lied to people. They've lied to people to keep people away from me too, so that I won't get any help in this situation. So it was like the worst thing that could have happened for them when I moved back to Campbelltown. And there's nothing that these family members haven't done to try and destroy the foundation that I have had to build up again, all on my own. I've had absolutely no help to do that. And there's nothing that they haven't done because they were trying to make me homeless again. So, I've had my car attacked, I've had my home broken into. Um, there's just nothing that they've done. They've spent thousands of dollars on setups to try and tear down the foundation that I have built for myself. And it was when after they seen me starting to um, do well for myself, because I did find myself homeless after I left that relationship. And it was after, they seen me start to do well again that they must have started to panic. So they started trying to do whatever they could to destroy my life. And as far as the justice system is concerned, this must have been done to people in the past. And I can tell that because of the extremes that they have gone to carry out this abuse. And they also knew that I had a very uncaring family who wouldn't do anything, if I went missing or anything like that. They knew that I didn't have a caring family that would look for me or that would do anything to help me. I mean, they've watched me go through this cruel abuse for almost a couple of years now, and they've done nothing to help me whatsoever because they don't want to be held accountable for what they've done. And that pedophile is also connected to that family, so they're actually protecting that person as well. But this hasn't worked on me because I know my worth. That's why. They've obviously done this to other people before, because what they try and make me do, they're trying to make me feel like there's something wrong with me. They try and affect my self-esteem, like by the fact that there's no help out there for me, or my family have walked away, and the abuse that I go through every time I leave the house and around my home. Like they're trying to make me feel like there's something wrong with me. But the thing is, I know my worth and I know who I am. I know I'm a good person and I know what I deserve. And this is what they wasn't expecting to happen. They also wasn't expecting me to stand up for myself. But I do believe that the justice system must have done this to other people in the past, and that is because of the extremes that they have gone to carry out this abuse. I mean, they must have been so sure that they could do this as a group, as a community. They have been trying to take my life as a community, as a large group of people. So they must just think that that's okay, because it's not just one person carrying out the abuse. It's hundreds of people. So this is what they're doing to people who speak up for justice for themselves. Also, some abusive people can escape accountability for their crime. But in these people's eyes, I'm definitely not meant to be here right now. That's for sure. And because I am, they've been panicking. So although the abuse has quietened down, when I am being put through abuse, it's very intense abuse that I'm being put through. And a lot of people have done so much over the past 18 months, like some of these neighbours that have been involved, the Campbelltown Police, my landlord, St George Community Housing, is involved, my family members. These people have just done so much, and they've also done so much to try and prolong the abuse. And that's because they're They're just must be living on a wing and a prayer, like just hoping that, every day something's going to happen to her today. She's going to have a health episode today, and they're just looking for the slightest opportunity that they can take to put me through abuse. And because I have spoken out about this on this channel, word is getting out about what's gone on here in Campbelltown, New South Wales over the past 18 months, the way that my human rights are being abused, and also the environmental crimes that have been carried out here in Campbelltown. There's leaders and people like my landlord that are leaders of Campbelltown too, like sitting back watching this go on, just pretending that it's not happening, pretending that they're not seeing it, but they are. There's no way that you could know. There's no way, if you live in Campbelltown or work in Campbelltown, there's no way that you couldn't know that this was going on, especially as far as the environmental crimes that have taken place here, because what they've been doing is creating noise attacks with transport. And what they do with these noise attacks is they just try and create as much noise and as much pollution as they possibly can using any kind of transport that they can. And this has been going on for 18 months. It's still happening. There was one this morning. And this is why they have, this is why I know that they have placed something under my skin to monitor my vital signs, because what they do is, before I even flinch a muscle in the morning, when I open my eyes, when I'm waking up, they will start carrying out a noise attack. Before I even move, these people know that I have woken up from my sleep. So they have a way of knowing when I go from a sleeping state to a waking state. And what they do is they start carrying out noise attacks the second that I open my eyes. And this is just supposed to make me feel so hopeless. It's supposed to make me just, not want to get out of bed in the morning, and think, oh, like another day of abuse. And this has happened for 18 months. Every single morning. These people know. And there's also been abuse that these neighbours have put me through as well over the past 18 months. And the landlords worked with these neighbours to do this, my closest neighbours. And there's been things that they have done as well, where they have carried out abuse the second I have opened my eyes. Like, I don't even have to move. If I get up during the night, they'll start carrying out a noise attack too. They'll just do that just to show that they have that domination over my home, because they're watching me in my home, and they've got control over, they're trying to have control over every single move I make. And I've done nothing to these people either. I've done nothing to deserve any of this. I'm a good tenant. I was good to all these neighbours, but obviously they were expecting some kind of money when the job was done and I passed away, because these neighbours have done so much to put me through abuse. It's been absolutely constant with the neighbours that have been involved. And the abuse that I'm being put through, it's really, really cruel abuse. It's inhumane, and there seems to be someone who oversees the organisation of a lot of the abuse that I'm being put through, especially when I go out in public places. There must be someone that's working for the justice system that's organising a lot of this. This person is extremely sick-minded, very vulgar and twisted with the things that they have done to put me through abuse. This person is very, very sick and twisted. And if I speak about something that they've done on this channel that's very cruel, they'll do more of it. This is how cruel they are. But I don't let these things bother me anymore. I have um, learnt to control my emotions very, very well, especially going through this because I've had to. I've had to control my emotions to survive this. But if I make a mistake or anything like that while I'm out, and like I'll have hundreds of people come towards me, stalking me when I go out. On the road, I have people trying to cause me accidents. This happened just a couple of days ago. I had some people trying to cause me accidents on the road to and from the shops. So I'm very limited in where I could travel because they'll follow me to other suburbs too. And if I make a mistake when I'm out, like the other day, I had people stalking me all the way on the road, and I got out of my car and I happened to leave my lights on. Luckily, I just went into a store. I wasn't too long in that store, and I come out and my battery wasn't flat or anything, thank goodness. But because I had made that error, they will then do something to try and make me feel like they'll do something cruel around that to try and just make me feel, really stupid for making that mistake. So this is what this person does. They just watch every single detail that I make, that I do, and if I happen to do, they're constantly trying to create traps for me too when I'm out. They constantly put things on my path, and they'll have people doing things around me, like just to try and provoke me or to make me trip up in some way. So, it is very daunting to have like hundreds of people coming at me, stalking me when I go out. It's become a normal part of my life now. It really has. When I go out, whoever's organising this abuse and the people that are involved, the random members of the community, a lot of these people watch me in my home as well, like the random members of the community, and they will watch for things that I do in my home and say in my home, and then they will think up abuse to carry out when I go out. They'll try and get close to me to say or do something just to let me know that they've been watching me in my home. So, if I say or do anything, though, about that, of course I'm going to look crazy. But this is what they want. This is why they're doing it in this way. A lot of the abuse that I'm being put through, they make it look like it's circumstantial, like the things that are happening around me are circumstantial, so that if I say anything about them, I'm just going to look crazy. And this is what they want to happen. I mean, of course, if I said something to, just a random person that's next to me that has said something that I have said in my house, if I say something about that, I'm going to look crazy in public. But this is what they are trying to make me do. And a lot of the provoking that I'm being put through is in shopping centres. They try and provoke me in shopping centres. They want me to have a mental health breakdown in the shopping centre. And it's an absolutely huge network of people that is a part of this. There's hundreds, thousands of people involved in this. And that's another reason why I think they've done this to other people in the past. I'm also stalked in my home constantly, mostly by, it seems to be like a group of abusive men that stalk me in my home. Constantly, they will drive up my street. They also stalk me on the road. They also they will create pollution on purpose in front of me when I go out. They deliberately do this because I've spoken up about the environmental crimes that have gone on here in Campbelltown over the past year. They will deliberately create pollution right in front of me. Sometimes I'll do this while I'm walking through car parks and things like that. And again, if I said anything about that, I would look crazy because it just looks circumstantial. But These men stalk my home constantly. They will stalk my street, and they also stalk me in my home according to my movements. Like even if I get up and go to my bathroom, they will have someone set up to stalk past my house. If I get up through the night, a lot of these men are involved in carrying out these noise attacks through the night. They have people set up ready to carry out noise attacks 3 a.m. in the morning, doesn't matter what time. And when I'm on the road, yeah, they try and cause accidents, or they'll just try and create distractions and things like that. So, where am I? I've already said a lot of this here. Yeah, so when I go out, I'm stalked in the shops that I go into. I'm stalked by just random people that will try and get close to me. I'm stalked in the car parks when I park my car and walk to the shopping centre. There's already stalkers ready in the car park, and they all come towards me to carry out some kind of psychological abuse. They will also have people set up that look like my past abusers as well, and fake customers in the stores that I go into. And yeah, these people will try and get close to me to say or do something to try and humiliate me because they've heard me do or say something in my home. Sometimes they will do or say something around a show I've watched or something like that. Um, and it's people from all walks of life that are being a part of this abuse. I mean, I had a grandmother the other day that was in one of the stores that I went into, and she had a couple of older grandchildren with her. And she was actually putting her children, these older grandchildren, up to um, putting me through psychological abuse. She told them to say something. And, is it any wonder that, kids are growing up with a lack of respect, and kids are growing up to be bullies and things like that these days with grandparents setting examples like this? I mean, this woman had put these kids up to saying something, and she was using these children. I mean, obviously she didn't care. She was getting paid for it, and she's turning an eye to the big pitch, blind eye to the big picture of the situation here, because, by supporting the people, the justice system, and the people that are involved in this, she's actually supporting pedophiles. She's supporting men who abuse women. And, she obviously didn't care about that. And she didn't look like the kind of person that you would think that would be involved in something like this. But, she's actually teaching her children to disrespect another adult like that. Like, I look at things like that, and I just think no wonder that the world is the way it is right now. And there's certain stores that I go into as well that put me through abuse every time that I go into their store. Some of these stores, some of them are big organisations and small, but there's one particular store that puts me through abuse every time I go in there, and this store must have people watching me in my home, because they will design abuse around things that I have, or things that I've said on my videos as well. The other day I put a post up in my community tab on YouTube, and it was just about how I have absolutely no privacy. And when I went into this store, they will often use songs, and they've done this on several occasions. And they put this song on. I always feel like somebody's watching me and I have no privacy. And that is a song by Rockwell, a band called Rockwell. And it did make me really angry, but this is the kind of thing they do to try and provoke me. And this is constantly happening when I'm out. And And, these people are allowed to watch my heart rate while they are putting me through this abuse, just to see, if it's working, if I look like my heart's going to stop beating, or if my blood pressure's going up. And once again, I mean, of course, I'm going to look crazy if I turn around and say that there's a store playing music to put me through abuse. Once again, it looks like circumstantial evidence, but this is what they're doing. This must be the new way that they're putting people through abuse to get rid of them. The justice system, to shut people up, to gain control over people's lives. And they're paying different organisations to be a part of it. And they try and control every single action that goes on when I go out, that goes on around me. They try and control every single car that's around me when I go out. They try and control every person that comes towards me when I go out. It's what I say, like, there's hundreds of stalkers that come towards me when I go out, and they come from every direction. And it's the same with the cars. They just try and control every single thing that happens in my life. And I mean, that's also to make sure that nobody comes towards me to help me. And it's a very large majority of this town that's been involved in this here in Campbelltown, New South Wales. My landlord, St George Community Housing, and has rigged my closest neighbours' homes. The three neighbours that are joined to my home, St George Community Housing, a well-known housing provider, has rigged their homes so that they can control the air in my home. And this is why I'm still in a lot of danger here, because these neighbours have done so much to put me through abuse over the past couple of years. They are desperate because they know they're caught. They know they're caught right now. And my landlord and these neighbours have been just trying to prolong the abuse for as long as possible because they have that close access to me. And they've been able to control the air in my home. So I'm in a lot of danger. I'm in danger. As long as these people are able to do that, I am in danger. They are very cruel, the whole three of them, very cruel, sadistic people. And I can say this with confidence because you've only got to go back and watch videos that I've had to make in the past. There's a lot of them over the past 5 or 6 months, in particularly where these neighbours have tried to control the air in my home. And the abuse from these people has just been absolutely relentless and cruel. And like, they're capable of taking my life. There's no doubt about it. And I can just tell by what they've done. They've proved this to me. They also have gas stoves underneath their range hoods that they're still able to turn on their range hoods and send whatever they like into my home, because everything is being redirected. Instead of going out through the roof, it's being redirected into my home. And this is how my landlord, St George Community Housing, has teamed up with the justice system to put me through this abuse. These neighbours were being paid to abuse me to death, and they were absolutely obsessed. They still are. They're watching me in my home. These people live within meters of me. One of these neighbours, there's a male that lives diagonally to me. This person and the two females, one downstairs and one next door, they have just been absolutely obsessed. They watch me all day, every day. They focus on me more than their own lives. And they're natural abusers. There's no doubt about that. And they've enjoyed every minute of watching me and causing me harm. And this male that lives diagonally, he was a bully before this even started. He was. So, this is how I know He is a natural abuser. He's also a natural voyeur, because there was incidences before this started where he'd been caught looking into people's homes before. Um, and this person has just thrived off abusing me. He's barely left his home in 18 months since he's been able to watch me in my home. So this is the kind of sick people I have watching me in my home, as well as random members of the community. I mean, this person lives for it. And there's someone that has been providing him with thousands of dollars worth of equipment, of power tools and different other things, different pieces of equipment, just so that he can put me through abuse. Someone's been providing them. And these neighbours were abusing the air in my home with cigarette smoke and foul smells. But because I've spoken out about it on here, that has stopped, thank goodness. But, I'm still in a lot of danger because they still have the access to control my air. When I go out, they're still turning on their range hoods. There's the woman downstairs. She can turn on her range hood without me knowing about it. The other two neighbours, I know if they've put their range hood on because the disgusting smell of their homes comes through with the air from their homes. Whereas if she puts on hers, it's silent. I don't know if she's got it on or not. But what it's doing, it's sending all the dust down from the roof into my home. So this is another thing that's been happening. When they put their range hoods on, it just rains dust into my home, and to the point where I am cleaning it up, trying to clean it up as quick as what they're making it. And I'm sure they're doing this when I go out. They're still doing this. And up until a couple of days ago, she was still doing this while I was in my home because I happened to notice all raining down through the air, the dust. So they're doing this to try and affect my breathing. So see how sneaky they are? Like they're just trying to get to me in any possible way that they can. So yeah, I'm still in danger, and the landlord and the Campbelltown police have watched this go on, as well as other neighbours that can also view me in my home. They have watched this abuse take place. None of them have done anything about it to help me. My family have watched this. My family can listen in on my home, my abusive family. No one's done anything to help. And I was put through hell. I mean, you can go back and watch those videos about when they were abusing me with the cigarette smoke and the foul smells, um, just how bad it was, the abuse. And yeah, the landlord still hasn't done anything about it. Like, so this is why I really need help right now to create more awareness, more public awareness about what's going on here, because there is no help. The police are involved in this. The Campbelltown police also stalk me, usually several times a day, either in the helicopter or in the patrol car. Yesterday I was absolutely disgusted because I was actually attending the Anzac Day memorial in Campbelltown, and the police actually stalked me. They stooped so low as to stalk me while that was going on. So, that was like really stupid, pretty low to do that. But of course, once again, they can say that that's circumstantial. But the thing is, they only put their siren on for sometimes it's only about 10 seconds. And it's just to let me know, because they're watching me in my home too. Sometimes they'll do it while the neighbours have been abusing me, so that they're trying to rally the neighbours up to abuse me more, like just to let them know that it's okay to put me through abuse. And they'll follow me to other suburbs as well. They follow me to wherever I go, the police, and they'll stalk me in other suburbs. But yeah, what they did yesterday was so disrespectful, but it doesn't surprise me because, yeah, these police are very corrupt here in Campbelltown, New South Wales. And they also stalk me to cause me fear and anxiety. And of course, they're also able to monitor my vital signs as they do this. And they will also create setups and carry them out in the middle of the night. If I happen to stir in my sleep and before I even move and I just open my eyes, they will start stalking me just to try and cause me as much fear as possible in the middle of the night. And then, yeah, watch me as I panic and do nothing about it. So, everybody had something to gain in this that's been involved. My family, the neighbours were being paid, um, the police, I mean, they don't want to take accountability for what they've done. The landlord must have been bribed to be a part of this. I mean, why else would you risk something like that? Um, but it's all been to try and end my life. They all had something to gain out of it. So this is why they've all worked together. And then there's also hundreds of just random members of the community that are involved. And I also think that the justice system and the people that are organising this abuse, like overseeing the whole thing, I think they have told a lot of lies, just like my family have, just to try and get people to team up with them and put me through abuse. And just different people too, I think, were lying to their family members and things like that, like just to get them to help them put me through abuse in different ways. Um, I'll just give you another example of the abuse that I've been put through over the past few days. It was this time last year when I had to go and have a procedure done at the Campbelltown Public Hospital, and it was just supposed to be a day surgery. I was meant to be allowed to go home that night, but because I have been isolated by my family, I had no one to pick me up or um, or take me there. I had to rely on cabs. So a couple of days before that, I went to my community here in Campbelltown, and I went to an organisation and asked them if I could get, help to be taken to the hospital and brought home on the same day as the procedure, so I could come home. And they made it. This is what happens everywhere I go for help. For doesn't matter what it is, they they create some kind of disappointment around it or some kind of delay so that yeah, they can't help me for whatever reason. So I never got any help to be taken to that hospital. This also happened just weeks after I'd been through a setup where my family, some ambulance drivers, and another organisation had set it up for me to be taken to the Campbelltown Public Hospital, where I was put through 5 weeks. I was held there for 5 weeks against my will. I was admitted as an involuntary mental health patient, and I was put through 5 weeks of psychological torture. It was all set up. I should never have been taken there in the first place. And during that 5 weeks, they put me through so much psychological torture. And what they were trying to do, they were trying to cause me to have a mental health episode. So they got me to the hospital and then they tried to cause a mental health episode. So I had just been through all that, and then they ended up laying me out. They couldn't cause a mental health episode. I was put through so much abuse. I'll actually leave a link to a video that explains in detail what I went through at the Campbelltown Public Hospital over that 5 weeks. You're welcome to go and watch that. It just shows everything in more detail, what happened with my family and everyone. But like it was just a couple of weeks after that that I had to work up the courage to go back in and have this procedure done. And I was worried about it because, I knew I had to go under anaesthetic. I knew I had no one. There was no next to kin. like because my family are all involved in this. And I thought, well, maybe I'm not even going to wake up from the anesthetic, but I just had to take the risk and go in and go through it. And so it wasn't enough, that I'd just been through that 5 weeks of hell at the Campbelltown Public Hospital, that I had to go back there. Then I had no one to help me get there or get home. So I had to catch a cab there and back. They couldn't help me with patient transport, apparently. So what they've been doing, because that was a year ago, what they're trying to do, they're trying to make me relive things that have happened like at this time of the year. So right now they're trying to make me relive when I go out. They're doing things to try and make me think about that. And what they've been doing is they've been getting a patient transport vehicle, like a public patient transport vehicle that the hospital supplies. They've been getting that just to drive through traffic around me wherever I go, every time I go out. Like, this is the kind of cruel abuse they are using. And these are the different ways that the health system is working with the justice system to put me through this. So, of course, they've done this to people in the past. To go to these kind of extremes and to have so many people involved in this, they have done this to people in the past. So this is another reason why I really want to create more awareness of what's going on here, so that they can't ever do this to anybody else. And, who knows how many people have been through this in the past that haven't made it. So if there's anyone out there that can help me by sharing this video, please share the video. It would really help to just create more awareness, because that's what I need right now, especially with the danger that I'm in the way that these neighbours they live so close and they can control the air in my home. But if they do anything, I'm going to be straight on this channel telling everyone what they've done anyway. And I'm going to leave it there today. But that's what I need right now. I need help. If there's anyone out there that can help me in any way to create awareness of this, or if you can help me just get justice for myself and hold these people accountable for what they've done, please reach out on the email that is in the description box of this video. There's also links to other videos in the description box that you can go back and watch other videos as well. So thank you if you've watched this to the end. Really appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and God bless.